Good afternoon. It's May, and it seems like the state of Missouri is starting to open back up. And so my nail lady is allowed to open. She is in a different county than me. I actually live in St. Louis County, and St. Louis County is being very strict, and they have no set date of releasing the stay-at-home orders. They're ignoring the president's phase one, and everyone has to stay at home in St. Louis County, and no businesses are allowed to open indefinitely. They're not even like Illinois, where Illinois is saying May 30th. The city of St. Louis and St. Louis County is like, too bad, so sad. And I am in the. I totally agree with Trump's phase one, like, let's get back to work and fit in steps, as long as everyone's following the social distancing and remaining, washing your hands, being clean. I feel like it's time to get back to work. And so my nail lady is, luckily, she is in a different county, and she's ready to get back to work. She did not get unemployment. She did not get any help whatsoever. And when she texted me this week that she would be able to open back up, I got one of the very first appointments. My nails are like horrendous. I've missed 2 nail appointments. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are thinking, oh my God, who cares about nails? There's so much more important things in the world. Perhaps there is. But for me, my nails are very important. It makes me feel good. It's just one of the things that I love about life, and I can afford to get my nails done. And my manicurist, this is how she supports herself. So I will continue to get my nails done as long as I can. And so she is an individual nail salon where it's just her. She's appointments only. I have a tendency to go off tangent, and I really wanted to go through all these guidelines that Angie is taking. So I'm going to read from a document on my screen. So that's, if that bugs you, sorry, I'm doing a teleprompter. So my manicurist owns her own business and is by appointment only, and she's always been that way as long as I've known her. I've been going to her for about 5 years now. I love this private appointment aspect. It's just me and her. It's just one-on-one. I can talk to her. I tease her that I consider her my therapist. And that's why this is important to me, because, like, this is mental health. Like, I'm so ready to talk to her. I have so much to share. And so, this whole staying at home is very hard mentally too. So I can talk to her, and when I was back in college, I did the old acrylic nails. I went to those mall salons that had 20 million people, and everyone eavesdropped on you. And I don't have to worry about that with Angie. It's just me and her. At the end of my appointment, when the next customer shows up, yeah, I quit talking then, because then that person's eavesdropping. But for the majority of the appointment, it's just me and her. So even though Angie is always one-on-one, it's still a salon. It is still regulated by the government. She still had to shut down in March when the government enforced the stay-at-home orders. She's certified. She has to follow all the regulations. And so she's a business. She pays taxes. She has a business license. The government comes and inspects her salon. Even though it's, appointment only, it's still inspected, and manicurists are kind of like hairdressers. They have to stay certified. She goes to like yearly conventions to learn all the new updates, the new procedures, different ways to do nails. And so it's not, not anyone can do nails. It's definitely a skill. And so I know I can't do my own nails, so it's definitely a skill that I enjoy paying Angie for. So she sent a long text telling about all the new rules and guidelines. So let me go through those. And I don't believe she thought of these herself. I could be wrong. I'm going to talk to her tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure these are guidelines that the government is telling her this is what she needs to do to be able to open her business. And so the rule number 1 is, please wait in your car if a client is inside the salon to prevent cross-contamination and give me time to disinfect. I will call or text when to come in. Okay, I'm reading these rules as Angie's perspective because she's the one who texted me. Okay, my thoughts. Okay, so Angie has a small waiting room with a couple of chairs. So usually when I go to her business, I see a car there, I will still go inside and just sit in the chair and wait for the other person to get done. So usually, like, I always do 10 minutes early. Everyone pretty much arrives 10 minutes early. So now instead of going in, I'll just wait in my car until I see that person leave, or she texts me saying, hey Jen, it's time to come in. And so at the end of my appointment, this was always my least favorite time, because when the next person comes in, I feel like I can't really talk to Angie anymore, because I don't know what it is. The next customer would either come in talking on their cell phone. This is a small business, so we all get to hear this person's cell phone conversation, or the next customer would bring in a bag of food because they just had to eat right then and there for whatever reason. And I'm going to talk about that later, because I just think bringing food to a nail salon is kind of rude, but that's my opinion. All right, so rule number 2, we are all required to wear some kind of face covering. This is to protect each other. I do have disposable masks available for $1 if you need one. And so my thoughts is, I have a mask, I'm not worried about it. I sewed a couple for myself. My sister sewed me a couple. I'm all good. I do also have a couple disposable ones, but I kind of prefer the fabric masks. I am assuming the government provided her some masks, medical masks, because they're still not readily available in our area. So I'm not for sure where she got those masks. So I'm assuming as a business, the government provided them to her. And rule number 3, please wash your hands as soon as you enter the salon. That's not a problem. She has a bathroom right when you enter the salon. It's a cute bathroom. She keeps it very clean. Totally not an issue. Rule number 4, there will be no food or drink allowed at the nail table. If you must take a drink, you will need to re-wash your hands. This is my absolute new favorite rule. The appointment's only 2 hours. I can survive 2 hours without a drink. I can survive 2 hours without eating food. Not for sure why a lot of people couldn't. We've talked about this before. People would definitely like eat during their nail appointment, which I just find weird. And so I just was surprised by, when I'm waiting or at the end of my nail appointment, when the next person shows up, how many of those people would bring in a bag of McDonald's or Hardee's and eat it in front of Angie without offering her anything. Not that Angie would accept, because she does eat healthy, but I'm old school, and I believe it's rude to eat in front of people without offering to share, or just eat in front of them in general. And I think it's rude to bring food into a business. It is a place of business. This is not a restaurant. It's not Starbucks where you're hanging out. This is your nail place. I'm not for sure with this whole new norm of people just eating everywhere. I'm not for sure how it came about, and I think it's rude. I don't think you have to you're not gonna starve to death. You can go 2 hours and not eat at the nail salon. And this also, her nail appointments, it's by appointment only. It's not like you just was like, oh crap, I have a nail appointment, I need to eat real quick. No, you know when your appointment is. Eat ahead of time, plan ahead of time. So why do people bring in food to her nail salon? And it happens a lot. See, I'm going on a rant. This is a pet peeve of mine. I just don't understand why people have to bring food everywhere. And the other thing, I'm very sensitive to smells, and her nail salon is small. And so these people will bring in their stinky fried food, throw it away in her trash can. And so you now get to spend your whole nail appointment smelling what the person just had for lunch. And it's annoying. And Angie's so nice. She never says anything to anyone. I would have like put my foot down about the no food rule like years ago, but Angie's super nice. So, and I just think eating in a nail salon is sanitary. I could be totally wrong about because this whole place is clean, and she has exhaust fans going on. But if you've ever had your nails done gel nail, it's gel. So when I go in, she sands off the coating of the nail polish, sands it off with like a a sanding tool, you know what I mean, Dremel. And then she puts on a coat of the gel to strengthen your nails, and then she puts on the nail polish. So you have this dust floating around. She does have this table system. There's a fan built into the table, and it sucks the dust down, but I still think dust is flying around. I don't want to eat food in this place where particles are flying around. I'm sure it's perfectly safe, otherwise nail businesses wouldn't be allowed to operate. But mentally, my whole time, I'm thinking, oh no, no, I can't do it. So this is a pet peeve of mine. I know, I can't believe I'm going on 10 minutes already. Sorry. All right, forget it. You're one of those people who like to eat everywhere, so be it. I think it's rude. Number 5, please keep your cell phones put away while getting your nails done. If you must answer a call, you will need to rewash your hands. Seems reasonable. I think I read somewhere that cell phones are 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat. So yeah, I have no problem not touching my phone for 2 hours. And you can't really talk on your cell phone when she's doing your nails anyway, because half the time she's sanding it down, the fan's going on, the Dremel thing is going on. It's very loud. You can't talk on your cell phone. At least I don't. I don't know. So number 6 rule, there can only be one person at a time inside, so please come alone. I always go to my appointments by myself, but I guess other people sometimes will bring their husband, will bring friends, bring their kids. Oh yeah, she talked about that before, about mothers bringing like kids and stuff, and there's just really nowhere for these kids to play, so leave your kids at home when you go to this nail appointment. And then the last rule, if you have a fever or feeling sick in any way, please reschedule your appointment. So that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So none of these rules are impossible. They seem all very practical. I'm just happy to resume normal life. I don't think we're ever going to be resuming normal life. I totally believe in the social distancing. I totally believe that it's baby steps going back to normal life, but I also don't believe that we can just stay at home for the next 2 years, because honestly, until there's a cure for the coronavirus, it's going to be around. It's not going anywhere, and so it's a tough situation, but I for one cannot sit home for 2 years, and so we have to get back to some semblance of normalcy. This is why I love living in the US. We have all these freedoms. I definitely don't take them for granted, but I also don't want to live in fear. And so, I don't know, I may have the unpopular opinion depending what news channel you watch, but I'm ready to get my nails done. So, and I think the thing is, like, everyone has a choice. If you don't feel comfortable going out, don't go out. No one's forcing you to go out. If you're the type of person who wants to stay at home, you feel safer at home, by all means, stay at home. I still like stay at home most of the time. Like this nail appointment tomorrow will be the first time I've really done anything in a week, so that's probably one reason I'm excited to get out. Besides walking around the lake, I walk a lot around the neighborhood. Everyone walks around the neighborhood. That's another thing. It's kind of hard to social distance when everyone's walking, but what are you gonna do? You know, you just can't stay inside. It's not healthy, mentally or physically. So I'm ready for my nail appointment, and I will add a quick clip at the end of this to show my nails. I won't record in Angie's nail salon just for her privacy's sake. It's her business. I don't feel comfortable recording there, but I am happy to read all these new rules that she is putting into effect, or the government helped advise on what rules to put into effect. I just mentioned this because I was reading the news, and not all states are including nail salons into phase 1. So keep in mind, I'm in Missouri. They are allowing nail salons to open. There are other states that aren't. So check your state rules, and that's the one good thing I like about the federal government. They're letting the states decide, and that's how it should be. And so every state is different, and luckily I'm in a state that is allowing the nails to get worked on, because Angie needs to pay her bills too. She has a family to support, and I am totally ready to help her out and get my nails done. Good afternoon, happy Cinco de Mayo. So I'm back from the nail appointment. I just wanted a few words to add to the end of this video. So it was a good appointment. I like all of Angie's safeguards. She made these rules herself. I just mentioned that for anyone else who goes to a nail salon, your nail salon might not have the same rules as Angie's. Whatever I think I'm not for sure who she called, but she talked to someone in her county on the rules that they had to follow to be able to open. And whoever she talked to was very vague, and they didn't really have set rules. They just had a couple recommendations. One of the recommendations is, of course, to wear face masks, but they were quick to point out that wearing face masks is only a recommendation. It is not a government mandate. If you've been watching the news lately, there's definitely a lot of debate on whether it is legal to make someone wear a face mask or not. It is not a law. But with Angie being a private business, she has every right to say, you need to wear a face mask. If you're not, I am not offering a service. That is legal. As a private business, if you don't like her rules, you don't have to get your nails done by her. Same way if you go to a grocery store and they have a sign that says you have to wear a mask to go in, and you think they have no right to say that, they do. It is a grocery store is not public. It is a private business. And if you don't want to follow the rules, don't go to that grocery store. So it's a tricky slope. I just mentioned this because I read a headline about some state tried to mandate wearing face masks, and a bunch of people threw a fit that legally requiring to wear a face mask was violating their civil liberties, which I kind of agree with that. But on the other hand, come on, people, wear a face mask. It's common courtesy. And that's my point. Does it really hurt you to wear a face mask? It's just a common courtesy. You're protecting other people by wearing a face mask. And if you don't have a desire to protect other people, then you're a pretty crappy human. That's my opinion. So I wear a face mask when I go to the grocery store. I wear a face mask when I go to the post office. I do not wear a face mask when I walk around the lake or get my exercise. So I think you really should only have to wear a face mask when you are not able to maintain that 6 feet of social distancing. So anyway, I'm going to end it here. I'm happy to get my nails done. I made an appointment for 3 weeks from now, and I'm glad to be able to support Angie because I had a long talk with her, 2.5 hours, and it was tough. It was tough for her not being able to work. Oh, and another comment I wanted to make. I mentioned earlier that I thought maybe the government supplied her with masks. No, they did not. Sorry, I'm outside. Traffic is so loud. Anyway, Angie bought all those masks on her own. When the craziness first started in February, she had the foresight to buy a couple boxes, and then once her business was closed, she bought a couple more boxes from China, because she has to wear a mask, and then if a customer doesn't have a mask, she has one to offer them. So I don't know. I guess it was silly of me to think the government would actually hand out masks. That's the only other thing I have to say about like government requiring people to wear masks. You can't, in my opinion, you can't require someone to wear a mask if you don't have one to give them, because there are plenty of people that do not have access to masks. So until there are a bountiful amount of masks for everyone, you really can't federally mandate it. It's just crazy. So, but I still feel like if you have a mask, wear it out of common courtesy.